So I've been watching this show called I Love Lucy since I was little. I was like 6 or 7 when I started watching this show. And I was recently watching it again for like the 100th time, right? And I realized something as I was watching it. So the premise of the show is this little red-haired housewife named Lucy and her husband who works at a nightclub. He's a band leader, all this stuff. Well, because he's in show business, Lucy's always trying to get into his act, or she's always making schemes to get herself rich, or doing things to, further applicate for herself, always doing something. As I was watching the show last night, I realized something. Lucy has ADHD. Now, I am aware that this is a 1950s show and, or 1980s show, and they probably didn't expect people to think she probably didn't actually have ADHD. And I understand, like, it's all the stuff she does is for comedy and just to further the show and all that. I understand that. This is just my point of view. Lucy is an overthinker. Throughout the show, she's always wondering if Ricky's cheating on her, or she overthinks things to the point where she ends up doing an action or something that ends up blowing up in her face because of her overthinking. She also has insecurities. She knows that her husband works at a nightclub, and she's always worrying that he's out with some girl, and he's always working with show dancers, and she always compares herself to those show dancers a lot in some of the episodes. Lucy is also impulsive. Some moments, she's happy in a ray of sunshine. Other moments, she's yelling at Ricky because he didn't do something for her, like any natural woman. But it's even more of a intense variety than that. Another thing as ADHD people like to do is when we have an idea in our head, we like to get at least one of our friends to be like, oh yeah, that's a good idea, let's do that. And one thing that Lucy does throughout the entire show is she always gets her best friend Ethel Mertz to go along with whatever scheme that she's doing, always trying to drag in somebody along with her instead of doing it on her own. She always needs a partner in crime to do it. And that's one of the things that us ADHD people like to do. If we can't get someone to go along with us, then we won't usually do our idea most of the time. Lucy also has a very short attention span. She's always trying new things throughout the show. She's always doing different things, getting into new things, whether it's music, art, writing, or even making plays. She's a very colorful character. Now, again, this is just my little opinion. It's probably not true, but it was just something I noticed as I was watching it, and that made kind of sense in my ADHD brain. So thank you for watching, and I hope you'll have a nice day.